Meanwhile, back at our final table, ace 9-6. Koon has out-flopped Polak. Benjamin min-raised the button. Koon flatted. And now has the ace, looking up at 115K bet, which he calls. And the ace pairs on the turn, and that's actually going to embolden Polak, perhaps. A little bit tougher for Koon to have an ace now as it goes check, check. And queens full on the river for Polak. Could this be it? Is there a path to a fold for Jason Koon?
500K, I'm going to guess, and then all in. And I'm not sure if Koon's going to be able to fold this one.
All in.
Jeez. Wow. What in the fuck? Very fucking dumb. Wow, 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 wow.
And he finds a fold, Jeremy.
An ace?
I mean, I don't know, man. I don't want to have my heart broken right now.
All right, that was one of the most exciting hands on PokerGo from the 2018 US Poker Open. Jason Koon, what a tremendous fold. Please walk us back through that hand and give us some thoughts on it.
For sure. Flannel Brothers, all the way. Yeah, it was a tough spot. It was heads up for the win, and Ben was playing well that day. There were a few things I remember about the situation. It's been a minute, but first thing that comes to mind was I didn't need to win very often to make calling better than folding. Under 30% of the time I needed to win. So it was a really difficult spot. The rivered queen was kind of a problem for a couple of reasons. I think like a bunch of the pocket pairs that he c-bets the flop and then checks back with are generally like bigger pocket pairs because they need less protection. So a hand like kings or queens would be in his range much more often than say a hand like pocket tens. So the queen was one of the cards I thought that if I pot it and he gets there with, say, a hand like king-queen, he's probably not going to bluff raise the river very often. Maybe if he has like a three-pair kind of hand, like let's say the board was ace-9 something, I think is what it was. Let's say he rivered queen-9. Occasionally he might mix a call or a shove there because he blocks me having full houses, and maybe occasionally I would make a huge fold with an ace. But I think generally whenever he rivers one queen in his hand, he's just going to call. So the shove is extremely strong. He can still have some slow plays too to get to the river. I think in some ways, like in that spot we weren't deep enough. Like an ace would be better than say a three-pair hand myself as a bluff catcher because he could just be shoving like ace-jack for value. So it was just kind of a nasty spot because we were shallow enough where his value range was wide enough that there was enough stuff in it that I thought he was credibly. He was going to have me beat more often than not, obviously. That's why I made the laydown.
One of the things that I found interesting is that in this situation, there was so much time pressure on you because this was, a shot clock event. Do you think that in a normal tournament, you take a lot more time there? Or is this sort of, this thought process that you just explained, is that how fast it goes?
Yeah, there's also like this kind of, we've all played millions of hands of poker, right? And we all have this spidey sense. And generally, not always, but generally within like the first 5 to 10 seconds, you'll kind of have a good assumption of what you want to do. And I didn't have any shot clocks left, any time extensions. So it was like a really nasty spot. And my instinct was leaning towards fold, even though I was afraid it might be bad. And in theory, maybe it was bad. It did happen to work out that time, but let's keep in mind, poker's, like I said, that's a situation where I don't have to win very often. So, you kind of look like a genius in the moment, but if Ben's bluffing me the right amount there, maybe the fold just might be bad in theory, but in practice and in that day it was the right fold and it worked out.
If that would have been a bluff, I would have been talking to Ben right now.
Yeah, that'd have been pretty sick.
My flannel brother, Jason Koon, much more action still to come, so stay tuned to Poker Central for much more.